I can literally say this video is 5 years in the making, literally. I've been fishing BFL tournaments for 5 years now. It's kind of hard to believe I'm going into my 6th year. And I have taken 5 years worth of footage, 5 years worth of GoPro data, and ciphered through it and picked out what I think is my top 10 best catches in BFL tournaments. So what I do, each year is I buy a brand new external hard drive, and I stick 1 year's of footage on this hard drive. It's 4 terabytes. So that's a lot of data to go through, but I did it. I went through all of it, try to find the best 10 catches, and then I kind of ranked them in my own order. I caught a lot of good fish in practice for these BFL tournaments. I didn't include them. So there was 2 rules. 1, they couldn't be a practice fish, and 2, they had to be caught in a tournament during a BFL tournament. Caught a lot of good fish in team tournaments and some ABA single tournaments, but these are just the fish caught in BFL tournaments. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through all 10 of these. I'm going to watch them with you. I'm going to give you a little feedback on how, where it was, how I caught that fish and what it meant to me at the time. So yeah, tag along. We'll see. Tell me at the end of the video if you think I missed one. And some of you guys have watched me for 5 years, and I'm so grateful for that. Tell me if you think I missed one that, or if I got the order, correct. Now, some of these are really, really cool. I'm kind of embarrassed by some of them. I'm an emotional angler, and I kind of go over the top sometimes. I get very emotional, both high and low, very upset with myself sometimes, and very overexcited with myself sometimes. And you see that in a lot of these videos. So let's start right here. We're going to start with number 10. There's no way that this could not be number 10. Like, it has to be in the number 10. It's got to be the first one we start with. This was my very first BFL ever on Car Lake. And this was my very first bass in a BFL tournament. This was way long time ago. What was this, 2016 something? It was a long time ago. So this had to start our countdown. This was also the very first boom shakalaka, right? That you guys saw anyway. And so this was a special fish. I'll always remember this fish. I'll always remember the exact location I caught it and how I caught it and where I caught it on. There's no way this fish could not be in our top 10. It's a strong fish. Spotted bass, man. Yeah, so this was a regional championship on Lake Lanier, which, by the way, Lake Lanier is my favorite lake I've ever been to. So I love that lake. I absolutely love Lanier. This was the second day of that regional championship. I didn't have a good first day, so I was just kind of fishing for fun this day. I was really out of it, didn't have any real shot, but this was a really cool fish. You saw right then, he ate it the first time and missed it. Missed the hook, probably just grabbed it by the tail. I'm drop shotting here, and he's probably grabbed the worm by the tail, and he came back and got it. I actually saw this on Live Scope. I had just gotten the Live Scope. I was really still not sure on how to use it. to its fullest potential. But I definitely saw this fish on live scope and caught it off a stump out there in the middle of the lake on LANIER. It's just a great, great fish. I remember this fish, and this was first thing in the morning too. I want to say this is the first fish I put in the box. No, maybe the second. Either way, it was just a really good fish and very, very strong. Them spotted bass are really strong and really fun to catch. That's what makes LANIER so great. This fish is probably right at 4 pounds or so, maybe 3.5, 4 pounds. You can look at the belly on it right there, and it's just a big, thick, strong fish. Really good. This is so cool right here, man. This is like one of the last casts of the day. The last cast of the day, probably, I think. This is so cool. There it is. Just such a cool fish. That's why you don't quit. Just like I said in the video, that's exactly why you don't quit. You can see right here, I'm putting the straps back on the rods because I knew this was going to be my last cast. We had to go. I was late in the day. I had a bit of a run back to the ramp here at KERR Lake, and I'm fishing my favorite way, man. A big Texas rig worm offshore. That is my favorite way to go. Look at that hook set. That's a great hook set. I don't care who you are. That's a great hook set. This is a great fish here. It makes it great because it was right there when I needed it most. This was my fourth fish of the day. Oh, Siri's talking to me, but this was my fourth fish of the day, and I just finished that much. I finished one spot out of the money for this tournament, and I was so close to. If I'd have caught another one to look just like that, I'd have been top 10. So, just a great fish. And it just proves don't ever, ever give up. Smith Mountain Lake. Very strong fish. Appreciate the net man here too. Look at that fish. That is a Smith Mountain Lake 5-pounder, boys. Yeah. So we dropped that fish on the scales here, but this was a really, okay, so this was a brutal tournament for me. This was my first trip to Smith Mountain Lake. That lake has not treated me very well at all. I mean, so we'll just leave it at that for now. But I went up there and practiced for 3 days, didn't get a bite at all. 2 days. I practiced for 2 days straight, not one single bite. It's brutal for me. It was a really tough lake for me to figure out. Went into the tournament, no expectations at all. Fished brand new water that I've never even went to in practice or anything. This was about, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning or so. I finally got the very first bite in 3 days, and it was this one. I caught this fish on a black and blue jig. I don't even mind telling you where I caught it. I caught it in the very back of some Blackwater somewhere. It was way back there so far that you can see it's really muddy, very, very stained. I actually don't remember the exact location, but I know it was way up the Blackwater. But it was a great fish. It was very strong. That fish helped me get some much needed points in this event, because without these points, my season was like shot, because I had zeroed the tournament before this one. So very, very special fish. It was just great catch. Very, very strong fish. And yeah, it was fun. That was a fun fish. It made the trip worth it. Really did. It made the trip worth it. That might have been the biggest fish I caught in any BFL that year, I think. Really good fish. High Rock Lake. So this is one of the ones I'm a little bit embarrassed about. That fish was great, because it really helped put me on the path to this second place finish. This is a chunky 4-pounder I caught offshore on High Rock Lake, out of a brush pile, I think. And it just really set the tone for that day and really helped propel me to my first ever BFL top 10. And you can see in this clip, after I landed here, like, I know that today's a special day, and my hand is shaking as I'm trying to take the hook out of its mouth. And this video doesn't do that fish justice. That fish was very thick. You can see my hands shaking right there. And that fish was very thick. It was just a great fish. And like I said, it really helped propel me to this first top 10 I got. That's why you fish offshore on High Rock. If they're out there, you can get healthy quick. Just a great fish. Now, this fish was special to me because this was such a tough summer for High Rock, for me anyway. I had fished 2 BFLs prior to this. I only caught 1 fish in each of those. So I come into this one just kind of swinging for the fences, hoping to get 5 bites. Well, I did. I got 5 bites all day in this event. And I finished 10th in this event because of this fish. This was the second fish I caught of the day. I caught this fish offshore. You can see, like, look at this clip right here. You're not even remotely close to any bank. I'm out there fishing a big giant hump, a rock pile, and just a phenomenal fish. when I needed it most, because it set me up to have, again, have a top 10 here. And I love High Rock. I really do. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I've done really good there. I've done poorly there. But I love to fish offshore there. And if they're offshore, if it's the time of year for offshore and I can find them out there, like, they're good, man. They're good quality, solid 3-pound or better class fish. This one here was a little over 4. And again, really helped secure me a top 10 finish here when I really needed a boost. I had, like I said, I've been at High Rock for 2 weekends prior to this and was really struggling. And this fish just helped remind me, hey, I can still catch them here, you know? I can still catch them offshore on High Rock. So this is a great fish here. I always remember this fish. I actually took a screenshot of this clip, and I printed it out. Back on High Rock again. I'm an idiot. I know I look stupid. I know I do. But I don't care. I'm just so emotional. I don't even think. I just say stuff. Look at this. I promise you, none of this is choreographed. It's just pure, raw emotion. So the deal with this fish was, this was it. This was the last fish. This finished out my limit. And this, again, this fish was the final nail in the coffin to help me move all the way up to second place in this tournament on High Rock. I caught this fish on a shaky head underneath the dock. I had cast it on that dock over and over and over and over again. No real electronics, no live scope looking. It just looked like a really good dock. I was very patient. And I finally, you know, presented that shaky head worm the right way, and that fish bit. And then it's just a flood of emotion. Like, I know I sound and look like I don't even know how to describe myself, but that's me. Very, very emotional, because again, I knew that I was having a very special day here, and then this fish really helped cement my finish here in this tournament. Great fish, I'll never forget. Oh yeah, this was a very emotional fish. This is a freaking phenomenal fish. I can't even watch it. I look so stupid. That's a 5-pound class fish caught in the Chickahominy River. I caught this fish on the first day of a BFL Regional Championship on the James. You'll see it here. This is just a great shot. I mean, just that fish clobbered that buzzbait. And just a great fish here. So strong. Them tidal water bass are so strong because they're so used to fighting the current. And it took me a minute to land this fish. I had a great net guy. And then, of course, I just go berserk. That was my second fish of the day. I think I had 9.5 pounds in my live well with 2 fish. And it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I couldn't get a bite the rest of the day. But just a phenomenal fish. I still have the buzzbait that I caught this fish with. He took the buzzbait and it was mangled all up. It was a war eagle. mangled all up, turned inside out. Like, honestly, I shouldn't have landed the fish. It was a miracle that I did. But we got him. And that's another fish that I will never forget. That's definitely, this fish deserves definitely be higher up than, than some of the others. Yep. This is an awesome catch here. You guys got to see this. This is really awesome. She's all in the trolling motor, man. All in it. Freaking great catch, man. Just a great fish. Caught this fish on the James River as well in a BFL regional championship, first day. And on a drop shot of all things. I had been catching a lot of short fish, so I was astounded to actually get a bite this big. But that fish was very strong. It's probably a 4.5 pound class fish, pushing 5 pounds. Very, very strong. Like I just said, these tidal fish are just so strong. And when they want to go somewhere, they're probably going to go. And if they're going to at least try. And she wanted to go back under the boat. And that's fine. That's cool. I'll work with you. But when she did, she wrapped around the trolling motor. And I couldn't move her. And lucky the line didn't break. I mean, that 8 pound Invisex ain't no joke. I pulled the trolling motor up, kind of just moved the rod just a little bit to get unwrap myself, and it slides off of it. And then she just kind of moves to my left. And then I had a good net guy there that was ready and waiting. Needed the net guy there. And by that time, you could tell that fish kind of came up one last time and was really tired. Just a great, great fish. I mean, it just because how it all played out. Just being wrapped around the trolling motor, 8 pound line, caught on the James River during a BFL championship. God definitely deserves number 2 on the list. Definitely. Here we go, number 1. And this is going to be something. It's going to be something. All right. God. Yeah. I'm so emotional out there. Really am. This is a special fish for a bunch of different reasons. And it deserves to be number 1 for a bunch of different reasons. Number 1, this fish was caught about middle of the day, maybe 12:30, something like that. And I caught it. It was, I guess it's about a 4.5 pounder. And I finished 4th in this tournament because of this fish. I had been grinding and grinding and grinding. And I was finally able to get a big bite here. I had caught some quality fish during the day. But this was my biggest of the day, I think. And then I got paired with this kid fishing his first or second BFL tournament. And I think it was, how old was that kid? 13, 14, 15? Not very old. Just a super great kid. And he wanted me to succeed, and I wanted him to succeed. And he was doing everything he could as a net man that day. You guys should just go back and watch the full video of this kid all day. And he was trying so hard to help. And he was wearing Crocs that day that I think were a little bit too big for him. So he nets the fish for me. I get all super excited and acting like an idiot and didn't even realize it, but he had tripped and fallen, fell backwards, still had the fish in the net, but was hanging over. And I turn around, kids in the bottom of the boat, and bass is still hanging over in the net, in the water. And so, I turn around, grab the fish, help him up. It was just an amazing moment in my career. Just one of the best moments, like how it all played out and how it worked out. And that kid was a great kid. I enjoyed fishing with him that day. And that has to be of through 5 years of fishing BFL tournaments, that's got to be my personal most memorable moment. That necessarily wasn't the biggest fish, but it's a moment in which that, I'll never forget that day, and I'll never forget that moment when that kid was trying to help me so much that he fell over his own feet and to help me. So that worked out really, really well for me personally and for him as well. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see he got, he caught what was probably the biggest fish that either one of us caught that day. He caught on the very last cast of the day. And so it worked out for him as well. You got to go watch that full video if you haven't already. So just a great, great fish and a moment in my career I'll never, ever forget. This definitely deserves to be number one. All right, that's your top 10. What do you think? Did I get everything in there I should have? Or is the order correct? Should maybe one of these that should be ranked higher than the others? I think that's a good order. I think that I got all the ones that are most memorable to me, all the ones that will have a significant place in my memory for a while to come. So that's my top 10. Going into season 6 here, I really, really hope that we can add to this list. Maybe bump some of these out. Maybe catch a few more bigger fish. As we continue to move forward here through my career. And so yeah, let me know what you think. I would love to see what you guys think. If you have, maybe if I missed one, let me know about it. We'll go back and maybe edit, maybe create another one of these in a couple more years and see if we can move some of these around a little bit. Appreciate you guys watching. We're getting set to start another year here real soon, just days away now. And I'm pumped to get going. I'm pumped to add some more fish catches to this top 10 list. I'll see you out there real soon, fellas.